Here it is, July, it's story time. And so it's another hot day in the neighborhood. And you know what? I remember many years ago how I used to want to, on a hot day like this, I'd be sitting at the beach and I would be drinking some beers and having some cocktails with a bunch of friends and just having a great old time. And it's funny that on hot days, when I think of that, I think now, really, since I gave up the tequila 22 years ago, and now I'm celebrating, and you know what? It really does begin just one day at a time, and it's 1 week at a time. And I just started off, I didn't drink that much, but I was getting kind of stupid as I got older because your body tends to develop a tolerance, and then if you quit drinking for a while, then you drink, just get stupid. And I've seen so many people, and probably you have too, over the years, suffering so many different problems and addictions of all sorts. And it's a serious thing. And when I stopped, I thought, yeah, this is not going to be a big deal. And you know what? It wasn't that big of a deal for me, but the benefits just continued racking up over all those periods of time. You know, when I think of each year, and every year I say, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to go out and have cocktails with friends. But I've learned over these years, you don't need the cocktails. You can have just as good of a time as anybody when you're out partying. So no more of this. And unfortunately, too much of this in order to keep it going, but I really enjoy the rewards, and the rewards are many. And one of the surprising ones is going into the doctor's office. They make you fill out all those forms and say, hey, you know what, you have to estimate how many drinks do you have a week, and they go into a lot of detail because as you get older, it becomes a much bigger deal. And it was funny as I realized that, you know what, years later, you don't have to do any math. You don't have to do any complicated calculations about, well, I had 10 here and 2 here and a couple glasses of wine each night and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's just you put a big fat fucking zero and you don't even have to have any questions about it. And the doctor's always delighted because that's one more thing they can cross off their list. So for anybody who's trying to quit, you know what? And you think it's a really big deal, maybe it is. But I'll tell you, the farther you get away from it, the less of a big deal it becomes, and the more you enjoy the sobriety and the aspects of it that really bring it to life. And that is, you still go out on hot days with friends and have a great time, and you still enjoy life even more than you did before because you have less concerns each and every year. So I say, hey, go for the cake, not the tequila, and that's my story. And I put it out there for anybody who's really struggling or trying because it's worth it. Every single day it's worth it. And even months and years later, it continues. The clouds continue to clear and you find a clarity that you might not have ever discovered. And also new parts of yourself that you bring forth that are just as entertaining as you were when you were drinking. So I say, hey, cheers.